Hey Kentucky, this is Deidre Ransdell. Tonight the basketball Cats talk about getting off to a better start in 2019 as we await an announcement from a top recruit. Which QB will see action against Georgia, and a vaping scare hits Grayson County High School. All that and more is next on Hey Kentucky. Welcome to Hey Kentucky, presented by Wendy's. I'm Deidre Ransdell for Mary Jo Perino tonight. Drew Franklin is my co-host this evening. Hey Drew, how are you?
Wonderful. You had that wacky Ryan Lemon last night. I've got to fill those shoes tonight.
Yeah, he is wacky.
He is.
That is a perfect description of Ryan.
He's my guy though. But let's see if I can fill this spot.
I think you can do it. I think you can do it. We begin with Kentucky basketball as the Cats traveled to Alabama for SEC Media Day yesterday. And as we've mentioned, this UK squad has been picked to win yet another regular season conference title. But some of the returning players say they haven't forgotten about the disappointing debut for last year's team. The crushing loss to Duke was a brutal wake-up call for Kentucky, and with another mega debut on the horizon against the preseason #1 Michigan State, Ashton Hagans is determined to learn from those mistakes. Sophomore point guard says the Cats have adopted a no-smile November mentality in hopes of being more focused when the season begins November 5th.
Last November, we got a little bit upset. But, that was the first game, so this year we're just trying to go out there with a different mindset, just trying to stay more focused, have everyone all 10 toes ready to go out there and fight in the first game.
Drew?
I don't believe this. I've been around this team a few times so far. We've had media day. This is the smilingest bunch of kids Coach Cal has had. These freshmen, Tyrese Maxey, Khalil Whitney, all of them are constantly smiling. I love that they want to have this attitude because they lost to Duke by about $1 billion last year in that first game of the year. So I like that they're using that as motivation to get ready for the first game of the season. But I do not believe this team can go without smiling for a day, let alone a month.
Well, I mean, they're in a great position. They're with a wonderful team, wonderful teammates, wonderful coaches. It'd be hard not to smile.
Yeah. Let's just hope they play a little better in that first game this year.
Absolutely. Turning to basketball recruiting now, a 5-star guard is making his college decision announcement later tonight. 2021 prospect Devon Askew is set to release which school will land his talents at 11 p.m. His final 4 are Kentucky, Louisville, Arizona, and Memphis. Evan Daniels with 24/7 Sports thinks UK will be the winner, with Askew's decision on whether to reclassify to 2020 expected in the spring. Meanwhile, experts are favoring Kentucky to land the #1 player in the 2020 class. The predictions are continuing to turn big blue for guard Cade Cunningham. And looking ahead to the class of 2022, top freshman point guard Jaden Bradley is set to take an unofficial visit to Lexington this weekend for the annual Blue-White scrimmage. Drew, Coach Cal seems to be keeping up the pressure on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, and you just named the #1 senior point guard, the #1 junior point guard, and the #1 sophomore point guard all looking to Kentucky. I think that position is going to be fine for a little bit. But for the immediate future tonight at 11, Devon Askew is announcing his decision. And I will be shocked if it's anything but Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that strong on it.
He visited 2 weeks ago, and I got some sources around town, and he might have already whispered in UK's ear that it's happening. Louisville's on that list. At one time, Louisville thought they would get him. I really hate that for the Cardinals, that they're going to have to miss out on this.
I'm sure you do.
But tonight at 11 on SportsCenter, be ready for Kentucky to get the #1 point guard in the 2021 class. And he might even bump up and play college basketball as early as next year. He's looking into reclassifying.
That would be exciting stuff. Good news for UK.